Hello bee people, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Bees. In today's episode we were supposed to talk about royal jelly to continue with our series on bee products. But for today we're gonna do a different video because I have a surprise for you guys and one that I'm very proud of. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so today is a product launch or product unboxing. So I present to you our HummingBee's Bee Pollen. I'm really proud of this because now we're live in Amazon, and I'm gonna put a link on the description below so you can follow to see the listing on Amazon, as well as another launch that we are doing today, and it's our website launch. So I'm gonna put all the links on the description below so you can follow those links and can find more information on it. So we spoke about bee pollen on our third episode. You can find the card over here. So if you missed that episode, you can follow that one. But I'm gonna give you more details about bee pollen today, and especially some details about our bee pollen here in Colombia. The pollen here in Colombia basically is harvested in a high plateau that is called in Spanish the Altiplano Cundiboyacense, which is a region that is in the middle of Colombia. It's quite a wide valley in the middle of the Andes ranges. Okay, we saw that the bee pollen is a great source of protein, but what makes our bee pollen here in Colombia so special? And that's why we want to share it with you guys, and that's why we're selling it on Amazon now. Our bee pollen is recognized, and there's some scientific research. And if you go to the website, you can find the links to the scientific research papers that are out there, where you can find all the information regarding the Colombian bee pollen. But in short, because I'm not gonna go into much detail, but the Colombian bee pollen is very high in protein. It's around 23% of protein, high quality protein. And that's above probably 3 or 5 points above of what you can find on bee pollen from other regions around the world. So our bee pollen is very high in protein. Another thing is that it's very rich in some pigments that act as antioxidants as well. So when compared to bee pollen from other regions of the world, it's really high in those pigments. And the other thing that the bee pollen in general is very rich is some minerals. And again, our bee pollen is higher in the mineral values when compared to pollen from other regions in the world. How can you eat bee pollen? So for those that don't know how to, bee pollen can be eaten straight. So you can eat it by the spoonful actually. The flavor is quite sweet, and that's one of the characteristics of our bee pollen, because depending on the region where the pollen is harvested, it can be quite bitter. But this pollen is very sweet and is very delicious to be eaten straight. If you don't like it that way, you can add it, for example, to your morning cereal. You can mix it with the milk or with some yogurt. You can sprinkle it over your cereal bowl, and it's quite delicious to eat it that way. Also, you can add it to hot beverages, like for example tea if you want to, or hot milk. That's the way that we prefer to consume it. It's quite delicious to mix it with warm milk. If you're gonna mix it with cold drinks, for example, it's a very good addition to your protein shake, or if you're gonna add it to your regular smoothie, you can use a spice grinder, and as you can see on the images that I'm gonna show you, you can powder it, and that way it's gonna be more it's gonna be easier to mix it with a cold drink. Our pollen is very interesting as well because mainly it's harvested from preserved forests around this high plot that I was talking about, and in that way it's probably not contaminated with any kind of chemicals used on the commercial crops. Actually, in some research studies, it's been shown that the chemical load on Colombian bee pollen is very, very low and is up to the standards, to international standards. So that way is very good, very good. The bee pollen is a very flexible product that is very easy to incorporate to your regular diet, and as I was talking about earlier, you can add it pretty much to everything you like, or it can be eaten straight. So for the health benefits that it might bring, it would be very good that you eat it daily. There's no restrictions whatsoever to it. If you guys want more details about our bee pollen, you can find it on the links that I'm gonna provide on the description down below, that are our new website, and I have a lot of information there, and the links to the scientific research as well as the link that I'm gonna provide straight to the Amazon store. So that being said, I hope that if you can get your hands on it, you can share your comments via our website, or even some feedback on the Amazon store, and I really hope you enjoy it. So that's it for the video today, guys. I really hope that you liked it, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, click the thumbs up as well, and I'll see you on the next video.